Yo, what up? It's Teddy, Caravan Crypto, and it's happening. Bitcoin is making its move, making the move that we've been waiting for. In case you didn't know, on the 25th of July, we had this big green candle where it popped up over 10,000. It even hit 10,200, but people sold because they felt like, oh well, all this action, all this anticipation for 10,000. I'm gonna sell and cash out once it hits that mark. Let's see what happens. And they were kind of right because these red candles signify a little bit of a resistance line here. But what happened is these candles did what's called a squeeze. So the top of this candle was a high, right? It reached a high, and then it did a lower high, and then a lower high, and a lower high. But on the bottoms, it did a low and then a higher low, right? This low is higher than this low. This low is higher than this low. So it did a higher low and then a higher low and then a higher low, and it basically squeezed in this channel here. Typically at the end of a squeeze, you have a movement either up or down. And so if there's movement upwards, that generally means that things are looking well. Right, like the market sentiment is that it's going to go higher, and as you can see, the next 6 hours change, 6.5 hour block, whatever. This is the 343 minute candle. The significance of looking at it on 343 minutes for a candle is that it takes a lot of juice to move this measurement in a particular direction, right? So to get a green candle, that means we had to have 6 hours of movement that ended up green, right? So to get this big, huge green candle here, that means that in that 6 hours, there was a ton of green movement. There was a ton of buying that occurred, right? It was a ton of bullish action happened here, and then overnight, over into the next day, we had, a little bit of a sell once it hit around 10,300 and something, and then it popped over here, and this morning around 4 a.m. it began its ascent from 10,000. Where do we start? We started here at 10,237 to 10,727. It actually hit a high of 10,960. So people had sell orders near 11,000, and it came back down. And that's when I caught wind of it. It was early this morning. And then we move over and, to the next 6 hour block. So at 10 a.m. this morning, we have this new run up from 10,726 to 11,000. I mean, the top of this is 11,346. And right now we're at 11,292. If we zoom out, right, it looks parabolic. I mean, compare it to all this other action prior to this, and this action looks insane. This candle is like, these are the largest candles that we've seen in a long time. Waiting for the rest of this chart to load. What's up with the trading view? Load this up. It's not loading. I don't know why. I gotta change charts or something, or reload it. Maybe I've been looking at it too long. So yeah, we zoom out, and it's parabolic. Honestly, this kind of movement, I mean, wow, it's awesome. It's great that it's at 11,300, but I don't like that it's so parabolic. However, and the reason why I don't like that it's so parabolic is because you really want to see gradual movement. But Bitcoin is known for volatility. The crypto market is known for its volatility. So seeing wide, big movements like this is not uncommon. It's just that at some point we'll probably see some kind of sell-off. We can scroll out and out and out and out and out and look until, look for another time where we saw some movement like this, where we were touching 11,000. It's been a while. What's up, man? What's up with my trading view? This thing will not load. Come on, man. Give me my data. Give me my data, punk. All right, so we over here, and it turns out right here where you could see that these numbers kind of squeeze together. The chart doesn't have these long movements over here. It's a little bit of resistance. It didn't stay here long. It stayed here from the 10th of August till the 13th of August. So over here, it took 3 days to break downwards, right? And then after that, we're looking at, you know, around just before 12,000 is the next level of resistance here. But yeah, around 12,000 is the next real level of resistance that we could see. And if we keep scrolling back, sorry man, we're gonna have to go real back. So you know what, I'll do a day chart. That'll give me, I won't have to move so much. So look at this day chart. Look at this green candle on this day chart. This looks ridiculous, man. This looks insane. Doesn't even look right. Look at that, a monstrous green candle today. Monster. You know, and that's the day chart. You know, that's the day chart. Do you know how much juice you gotta have to move the day chart? Juice, a lot of juice. I just don't like that it's such a big green candle. Look, that, you know, there's green and red candles. It happens all the time. So following a green candle is a red candle. It's just that we don't know really when this is gonna stop. And the higher this goes, you know, the more dangerous it looks. It gets a little scary, you know, because what you don't want to do, like, you want to sell out, right? And you want to sell out because it's so high and you want to get some profits, but then you also don't want to miss on how high it could go. And that's kind of the gamble part of Bitcoin, is you don't really know what's going to happen. That's why buying and hodling is typically, you know, the best strategy most of the time, unless you know how to trade and trade well, and you can go and flip your money better than, you know, the organic movement of Bitcoin. Now, you know, we in this range, this is last year, right? This is 2018. This is sorry, 2019. This is in July of 2019. We could not break this 13,000 level. And let's see how many days it took. It took, if we go from here, sorry, we couldn't break 14,000, but let's say we start where we're at right now, which is just about 11,300. This is like when it was around there. Let's say it's, you know, it was solidly around here, right? And if we go to where it kind of crapped out and went back down, that's 90 days. It played for 90 days in this scenario here, where it got as high as, let me do another little measurement. It got as high as 13,760, and it came back down to, within 90 days, it came back down to, we're looking at, man, in this price range right here. You know, at the end of this candle, it was 8,000. That's what happened last year, and that was like minus 37%, I think it said. Sorry, I kind of clicked off it too fast, but, you know, dumped out 37% in that 90 days. And this is the resistance that we're going to be looking at going forward. I mean, the fact that it's just smashing through all these little smaller levels, all this time where it had to play in, all this stuff where it was like, we're going to go up. No, we don't want to go up. We're going to go up. We're not going to go up. All this stuff got smashed through, got obliterated in one candle, you know, and, you know, it's tough, man. I don't like these single candle monster green candles. I mean, I love them, right? I mean, it's like a love-hate kind of thing, because you just don't know if it's going to stab you in the back or not. I don't know if we're in a new trading range now, or we had this anomaly that occurred and is just going to sell off. You know, we got people who got whale pockets, people who have a lot of Bitcoin, you know, wanted to sell off and dump out and crap out the whole market. Or all this buying happened today and yesterday and the day before, and then, you know, in a week we're about to run out of buy orders, and, you know, the market's going to move sideways again. I don't know, but it's, you know, we'll see what happens. The thing that I'm counting on is that, one, we had the most bullish news for institutional investors and corporations and banking institutions to get involved into Bitcoin. So all of us that were involved in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies way prior to the announcement by the comptroller of the United States, comptroller of currency of the United States, You know, we got in before the banks did, and so as the banks would enter the market, if they do anyway, you know, that would signify probably a lot of upside action, a tremendous amount. The other thing we don't have is we didn't have before as many corporations, Fortune 100 and 500 companies getting into the space, announcing that publicly. We didn't have as much innovation as there is occurring on the blockchain right now in terms of new technologies and the application of those new technologies. And so, yeah, it's an exciting time. This green candle could be the beginning of something crazy. You know, let's look at some other very big green candles that occurred before. No, you know what? We need to go further back than that. Is that where we're going? Oh, no. This is where we're going. Yep. It's 20,000 range. Okay, look. So before we had very large green candles here. I mean, massive. I did a whole video on this, on following this green candle. But we went from 11,607 to 13,573 in one day. In one day, we went from 11,573 to 13,527 in one day. You thought that was crazy? Hold my beer. We went from 13,516 to 16,580 and 16,606. Okay, in one day, you know. And then next day, sell off. Look. And this is what I'm saying, man. This is why it's kind of scary, because we have this massive sell-off after these large green candles. And that's why these large green candles, you know, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. You really got to be careful about, you know, how you play these. But, yeah, another thing I want to talk about is that, sorry, I don't know why that popped up. Okay, look. Yo, last week, I was just talking to a brother about Bitcoin, and I talked about the 24-hour volume being at $15 billion, and now it's at $30 billion. I think Ethereum the other day was at $24 billion in 24-hour volume, and now Bitcoin's at 30, Ethereum's at 14. Don't worry about Tether. Tether's like basically the US dollar. It's a stable coin. Don't worry about that. But every other market cap, you know, then if we go by 24-hour volume, here, let's look at it. You know, we have Tether's, that's just US dollars. Don't worry about that. Bitcoin at 30, Ethereum at 14. The next one down is only at a mere $2.9 billion 24-hour volume. And it's Litecoin. That's actually awesome, because Litecoin is a pretty good project. It's been around for a while. But all these market caps are really little. Chainlink, 876 million. Okay, that's not even a billion. Cardano, 700 million. What else, man? Neo, Chinese Ethereum, 323 million. So look, what I'm trying to say is, in order to move Bitcoin, you have to take the entire market cap, which right now is at $317 billion. You have to take this entire market cap and you have to squeeze it into, you know, Bitcoin. Or like, you know, you have to suck it out of the rest of these coins with these small market caps, and you have to put it into Bitcoin in order for Bitcoin to move. All right, so that's what happens. You have not Tether. Sorry, I keep pointing at Tether. I'm like, why is it only 9 billion? No, it's 198 billion. Now look, you have to understand, right? They're gonna suck out. Bitcoin is gonna suck out the value out of the other altcoins, and it's gonna pile into Bitcoin. It's gonna FOMO into Bitcoin and push Bitcoin. That's why even though Ethereum did $90 in 2 days. You know, it did like 40% in it did like 30% in 2 days. Oh no, yeah, like a little bit under 30% in 2 days, which is phenomenal. Even though it did that, people were still waiting for Bitcoin to go up. And this is what you're gonna see. Matter of fact, this is an old chart. Let's see what it's looking like now. I gotta refresh it. I haven't refreshed it in a little bit. 11,184, $206 billion market cap. $33 billion in volume. Okay, so look, so even though Ethereum did a crazy run, it still didn't compare to Bitcoin and what Bitcoin could do, and that's why everybody kept their eye on Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin cools off, that's when you want to pile into the other altcoins, because then this energy that was all up in this market cap that was primarily in Bitcoin disperses back out to the altcoins, and these altcoins begin to move again. So keep that in mind. You know, I don't FOMO, try not to FOMO, and it's tough for me to say it because Bitcoin could go to 15,000, it could go to 20,000 in one day. I don't know what the hell this thing's gonna do. Nobody knows, right? But it's important to understand that first Bitcoin goes, and then the altcoins go. The reason why the altcoins had their nice run before was because Bitcoin, you know, had already came back to the levels that it was back in March when it had that crazy drop and dumped out to 3,800 bucks. But you know, just keep in mind, man, you got to watch, right? Because I won't really feel comfortable until Bitcoin is probably at, you know, I'd say, man, if I were to look at old resistance, you know, probably until Bitcoin is in the 14,000 range, you know, will I really feel comfortable like, okay, 20,000 is literally right around the corner. So keep that in mind. Keep watching your pockets and make sure that, you know, you do your due diligence, you do your research. Do not follow all of these people that are saying that they know exactly what's going to happen with Bitcoin and they know when it's going to happen, or they know that this altcoin is going to be next to pump. Don't follow all those people. They don't know. So be safe out there. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and peace.